Alright, we got for sale this 71 or 73 Standard Beetle. It's not a Super Beetle, it's a Standard Beetle. So it's got regular torsion bar suspension in the front, none of that other stuff. This was a really well made car. These had a 388 gear set in them. Went down the freeway 70, 75, no problem. They just like those higher speeds. This one drives pretty nice. This is a one owner car. Yes, one owner. Since 1973. I have the paperwork in it. He bought it brand new. Now, it does have a couple of, I mean, nothing really big deal. You can drive it just the way it is and tolerate it. But it, you know, it could use some tuning. Let me just put it that way. Some simple tuning issues. Every once in a while it gets a little cough out of it. See if I hit the gas, it kind of pop up. Just needs a little bit of tuning work. Something needs to spend some time on it. I'm not going to do it. So if you want the car, you know, you're just going to have to deal with that stuff. And this is an old car. It's not brand new. So those are the types of things you're going to get, you know, in something older. It is really in not too bad shape. The dash has this ugly patch thing. I was going to paint these bolts black and just send it, you know, just do it like that. That's what I was going to do. Just drive it like that. But again, you know, I have too many cars. I can't keep this one. This one I'm actually selling for someone who can't drive anymore. So he bought it new, can't drive anymore, so that's the deal. So let's take a look at it. It does run pretty good, not too bad. It's totally drivable the way it is. I see the motor kind of doing this a little bit. I would replace the motor mounts if it was me. You could just drive it just like it is and probably not have many issues. It's one of those cars you could just tinker with and drive and have fun with. It's original paint. It's not been repainted. This is the original color. And these are the original license plates. That was kind of neat. They had the original plates on it. I paid a bit of money to keep those original plates. So you can see all the original paints underneath here. Never been wrecked in the front. Well, maybe something happened here. I don't know what happened there. And maybe a little bit of something happened to that fender at some point. Don't know. It looks like it's maybe been touched up and repainted there. That's my guess. Upholstery is all original still. The door panels had speakers in them, but I got some original ones off another car, and they're of course matching exactly like the original ones. These are the original seat covers. Has the original carpet. Definitely could use to be cleaned. If you want to spend the time, get a shampoo thing. And these were like a felt carpet in these years. The best part about this car is this right here. This is a Riverside Econo Motors car. Okay, let's look at the paperwork. Original owner's manual with the guy's card still stamped in it. I don't know, I guess that was his mom or something. I think he was the original owner. It says somebody else's name on there, but it does have the VIN number on here. And I believe he did buy it new because it has his name on. Maybe somebody else did buy it new, but I'm not sure. I think it was his mother or something like that, because it did have his name on the original registration. Let's look. So here's the invoice. Can't read it. Or is this invoice or something? Maybe some service work. No, I think this is the original invoice. $28.90. Looks like cash price, and who knows what he actually paid. I can barely read it. So this has her name on it too. I don't know if that was a relative or somebody who had to buy it for him new. It's from Riverside, or yeah, Riverside address 19507. Yeah, so anyway, who knows, but all of his name is on these, which I'm not going to show you right now. These are the registration cards. They date back to 73. So your guess is as good as mine, but I'm going to call it a one owner car. I'm going to say this is basically one owner. So we have registration cards dating back. Just have one that's expires in 75. And then there's this other person that says her name on it. But like I said, I think that he wasn't old enough to buy it, maybe, or something like that. But anyway, I can't really ask him about all this stuff. He'd be very heartbroken to see this car go away, but he has no real choice at this point. So anyway, some receipts, a couple things in here. What is this? Wow, Winston tire, is that what it is? Yeah, but those are, you know, long gone, but kind of neat. Some neat paperwork that goes with the car. Some original invoice, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I guess maybe it was a relative that bought it for him in Riverside, and he's owned it. I have heard from him. So regardless how you want to look at it, there's paperwork dating back to the original purchase date, and so that's kind of cool. And it's all in here, and it's also VIN number matched, so that's pretty neat. So that, okay, he, like I said, I heard from him that he bought the car new, and he said it was a 74 is what I've always thought. And then I got it and I'm like, hey, that's a 73. So maybe he bought it. Maybe it was a demo for a little while or something like that. And he bought it in 74. I don't know. Or it was the 74 year that he bought it. And it was 73's closeout. You know, they used to do those things and sell them for less and all that stuff. It didn't look like he got it for that much less. So it's $2,800 plus whatever the fees were back then. But we're selling it for a little more than that, sorry. But anyway, very neat car. I could not find one stitch of rust anywhere on this car. We can look together around the car and I will show you. You're welcome to have somebody inspect it or look at it yourself. I would, you know, suggest that. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. So I don't even think the battery tray's ever been replaced. Nothing like that. Super clean. Heater channels are perfect. Yeah, even the infamous spot right here where every single one of them seems to find rust. I didn't see anything there. So the shocks are, they're like KYB gas adjust. And it rides very nice. So I didn't see, even like right here, no rust that I could find. You might find something, but I didn't find anything on this whole car. So anyway, some of the things that I have in here are the wipers. If you notice here, these are the wipers. They're here. The wiper switch itself, I think, is bad. I'll show you that. But again, if you're only driving in SoCal, you're probably not going to care. And if you drive the car respectfully, I normally don't drive them in the rain. Okay, it's more car wrecks in the rain. Try something else, really. So I wasn't even going to fix it, but I just see this thing's kind of, the switch I think is bad. So the wiper motor was out of it when I got it. I put it back in, and kind of was apart. It, you know, it sat for a while. He had good intentions of getting it going. It shows 64,993 miles on the clock. I don't know if that's 164. I'm sure it's not 264. 100% I'm sure of that. But because the trans is original and it's in perfect condition, it doesn't pop out of any gears, anything like that. The motor seems really strong, and I don't know if it's been rebuilt. It probably, I'm going to guess that it has been at some point, was rebuilt, because it's very strong running. I don't see any problems with it other than, you know, like I said, some tuning issues. Wouldn't take much. It's just going to take time that I don't have to put into it. Basically, I just wanted to get it together. As far as I know, all the lights work. I checked them once. You know how it is with these old cars. You gotta wiggle the fuses every once in a while. So horn works. Turn signals seem to work perfectly. Headlights, Yeah, I've had those on, the hazards. They work. I believe that all 4 of them do. I checked them, like I said, I checked them once. And they work. Yep, yeah. So, yeah, she's pretty solid. It has some aftermarket radio under the dash. I've heard it turn on, but it was connected to the speakers here that were junk. Funky holes were cut there. I just didn't like the look of that. So anyway, there's a couple miscellaneous guys that are missing for the vents. I have the knobs and stuff, but normally those things don't work, guys. Most of you guys didn't know that. The vent system, almost every time those things get, somehow somebody plays with them. They're really hard to put back together, and I wasn't doing it. I don't see that the dome light works. Maybe I'm just not going to play with that. We'll leave that alone. So, little things like that you could tinker with, but most of all, it's a good solid bones car. You got something it really just doesn't have any butchery to it, not much. And it's a straight body. This side, I don't see any dents all along here. Tiny little one right here, little tiny thing. And let's see, the front, no, I don't see much of anything. There's a ding right here. If you're really ambitious, you could have a paintless dent guy push that out, and a little tiny one right there. And other than that, I don't see, nobody's ever jumped on the roof. This is another thing when a car sits a lot of times. So anyway, that's what you get there. Tags are current today. They're due in October, but they're current right now. They were current. I couldn't pay October when I got the tags caught up. I did have to pay $300 in back fees already to keep the plates. So I could have just taken it to Arizona and tagged it over there and gotten rid of that. But I wanted to keep these license plates for the next owner. So yeah, because like I said, the guy who owned it, older guy, has had some problems. He's in a nursing care facility now and can't drive. So anyway, she runs good. I mean, starts right up. Seatbelt buzzer works. The annoying seatbelt buzzer from hell works. So that's working. As soon as you plug it in, if it's in gear, ta-da! That goes out miraculously. And then you just hop in her and drive. It's yeah, I noticed, so the tuning issues, I'll just tell you a little bit about it so you kind of know. I noticed that I timed it, and I think the timing mark on the pulley, and I've seen this before, is stamped wrong. So it's not really that hard to do. You just pull out the spark plug, you put a bolt in the spark plug hole, and you rotate the engine over till it touches the bolt. You rotate the engine over the other way until it touches the bolt, and then mark the middle of those two areas, and then stamp it, and then retime it. So it's little things like that. It's a little, or just drive it, maybe give it a little more advance. I put fuel in it, and good fuel in it, and I've gone uphill in 4th gear and floored it, and it doesn't ping right now, so it could maybe use a little more advance. I really don't know where it's at. So it's something simple, guys. It's nothing really wrong with it. It's just tuning stuff, old Volkswagens. And if you can't handle that, please don't buy a Volkswagen. Just don't buy one, because you're going to have to deal with little stuff like that all the time. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's not a bad car. To say everything pretty much works that I can find. Your normal stuff that you might have issues with, you're probably going to have some. So anyway, pretty neat car, really cool. Hope somebody ends up with it that likes it, and You know, it's definitely, I would love this car. I would love to drive this thing as a daily. It'd be awesome. But like I said, I got way too many cars. I can't keep this late model. I have, you know, older ones. So anyway, this one's really neat though, because it's got the freeway, you know, it's already got the freeway gears in it and all the good stuff. This is about the year when they came out with all the good stuff, except for the bigger taillights, and you just got to deal with that. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you next video.